Well, tough game for the Chargers. Pretty clear that some bad calls went against them, and we're gonna break that down. And there's evidence that they're just getting straight up cheated. It's like what the heck is this? And again, this is coming from an outsider's perspective. I see some of these calls, and it's so disheartening because I get it from the official standpoint. It's very difficult, but from the replay, everything, it's just like, oh man, that's killer, right? So if you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel talking nothing but Chargers, kind of an outsider's perspective into their team. So hard fought game, fine. Chargers didn't run the ball well. They only had like 40, 50 yards on the ground. Justin Herbert threw for a bunch of yards, but man, it always comes back to, can you run the ball? Can you stop the run? They're not able to really run the ball. Doesn't matter. Put themselves in a great position to come down at the end of the game. And then the first thing was the flag that they picked up. You know what? Fine. I'm actually okay with it. Again, outsider's perspective. He ran the wrong route. You could tell he was coming back in. The ball was over his head. Shouldn't have been a penalty. Okay, fine. The next one, then they kick a field goal. Chargers up. Here we go. Then Marvin Harrison drops the ball. But you see Cam Hart come in, and even in slow motion, he misses his head. And even if he was to hit him, it wasn't just crown of the helmet, I'm coming to just do damage. I'm coming in. I'm kind of coming in from an angle. He's trying to get the ball, but he misses. Frankly, misses. And so it doesn't really matter the intent, right? I can have the intent that I'm going to rough the quarterback. Man, I'm going to just get him, and I miss. All right, well, you missed. No flag, right? That's really similar to what this is. So if you see this, again,
he was right near where
you've
Harrison
seen it 100 times, but
football.
it's just like,
wow.
He doesn't even, he's trying to dislodge the ball. He does it. So now, instead, it's a penalty, 15 yards. Now, here's the things. Before you had the Derwin James suspension. That's just like, oh, gosh, Derwin James. Now, that was a little like, what are we doing? Does that seem right? Now you have this where, again, I always hate when it's like, hey, we didn't do enough to win or whatever. It's like, yeah, you did. You put yourself in a position where that should have been enough. That would have really put them in who knows, maybe they continue and go down and score, fine. But that 15 yards is all you need. It kind of gets you out of the back of, kind of gets you, you're backed up. You get that penalty, 15 yards, fresh set of downs. And especially today's kickers, it's like, man, they know they need 20 yards and it's game over, sure enough, right? So it's pretty obvious when you watch it over and over and over. In the moment, it didn't feel right, but as an outsider watching this over and over, it's like he straight up missed him. Now, had he connected helmet to helmet, jars him, yes, please throw that. But again, remember, and this is where I don't even use cheating, but you do feel cheated out of a victory, is the intent of that rule is a great one. And that is, man, you led with your helmet and you just crushed somebody. It's not what we're doing anymore. It's not 1985. And that's great. It shouldn't be in the game. We don't need to do that. You can miss guys. You're not just destroying them helmet to helmet. So just the letter of the law there is you can't lead with your helmet. We all get that. However, Jim Harbaugh said it when Derwin James was suspended. He said, here's the thing, guys. Your head is connected to your shoulders. It's in between your shoulders. It's the best I've ever heard of that. It's like, right. So to lead and try to hit with a shoulder, whatever, your head's going to be involved. And so what we're trying to get out of the game is that just crushing blow helmet to helmet. Absolutely. This isn't the spirit of the law. This isn't the spirit of the rule, excuse me. The rule is in place to get rid of that, as it should be, and everyone agrees. So then when you see it just get overly looked at, or it's like, oh, you led with your helmet. So you were trying to destroy him and you missed. That's a missed, right? So as an outsider, I'm just kind of going off the cuff here of like, been there so many times as a Lions fan. And here's the truth, right? The truth is you're going to be in these situations more often than you'd like to be because talent, coaching staff, you're just not where you want to be ultimately. If you're a really good team, you're in less of these situations where one call just destroys you. Been there. Been there with the Lions so many times. It's crazy. Actually, I know every team goes through it, but I swear to you there was like a 10-year stretch with Stafford where the Lions were going through it every single week. It felt like. Not quite, but constantly. Oh my gosh, brutal call cost us the game. Oh my gosh. And you're just constantly fighting about the officials. This is crazy. And there was some wild calls. But the point is, the better that the Chargers get, the more personnel that they get in, the more they're able to dominate games, get out ahead of people. You just won't have to worry about this. But it still doesn't change it. I've made this argument 100 times with the Lions it is what it is. And you're in the game. You're fighting. Sure, I wish we would have put up 40. I wish it was 40-0. We don't have to worry about it. But it's not. It's an NFL football game. You're right in it. And to get cheated out of it is so disheartening. It just is. So, sorry, I went on a little. I talked more than I wanted to there. But the officials, and I didn't really notice that they were doing this, but the officials come out with a statement of kind of what was going on. So somebody asked them, like, why'd you throw the flag? What did you see? What was going on there? So they offer an explanation. Let me get to it here. Which I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. So hold on, let me pull it up. Basically, the NFL officials, and we've always said this, they should have to say something, right? So the Athletics' Daniel Popper was able to talk to them. Basically, they deemed the pass interference uncatchable. Fine. Then they also said, hey, look, he led with his helmet. The middle official saw that he went in with his helmet through the flag. Unnecessary roughness. Can't do that. It's like, dang it. He missed him, though. Like, that's so. I hate when games just end like that or just kind of get bad calls. So, again, though, we've said it. At the end of the day, and we know this, you got to be able to run the ball. And when the Chargers run the ball, man, they're tough to beat. When they don't, J.K. Dobbins only 40 yards. You put yourself in this position. Arizona, they rushed it. James Conner, 100 yards. It's crazy. That's what's crazy to me is in the National Football League, as much as evolves, you got to be able to run the ball and stop the run. And whatever team runs the ball more efficiently, more effectively, usually wins. Like almost a lot of times, especially when it's 59 to 181. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Chargers, we looked at the schedule a million times for the last couple of days. The Chargers are in great shape. They got 4 more games that are very manageable. We said if they need to win 3 out of those 5. So it's still in play. All good. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.